So here we are on January 3rd, 2023. We're going to take a drive and see how busy things are in beautiful Quartzsite, Arizona. We're going to take a drive through the key parts and we'll just see how many folks are out and about and what traffic is like. So here we are taking a look at Tyson Wells Showgrounds, and we have looks like standard January parking where you don't have a prayer of parking on Kuhn Street. You need to go back to the free parking areas. And I'm going to try to sneak into the game store because I want to use the ATM there. So here I drove in back to take a look over where the big tent's going to be. Kind of zoomed in there. You can see the bags that are filled with the canvas tops and sides are there. Not a very good shot there. Not cleared up, and you can see kind of the skeleton. This is where the tent is going to go, and this is going to go up bit by bit over the next 2 weeks till it becomes the biggest RV tent show in the country, according to many. I'm looking and I'm seeing firewood here in the corner. You know, they'll say it's a wheelbarrow full, but it's more like a, you know, like those big banana boxes. Pine is 30, juniper 35, and oak 45. So wood is damn expensive this year. And I've gone to using my propane fire pit, and I think it's cheaper. I'll have to put my mind to it and do some calculations, but it's about $15, I think, to fill a tank, and I get about 2 evenings out of a tank, so it's about $7.50 it costs me for a fire at night. So here we are at Maine in Central. Central is street that we're on, where we're coming from La Posa South, coming up north through town. I'm making a left turn Main, but if we kept going on Central, we can drive all the way up and take about 45 minutes, and you'll be in Parker, Arizona, where the Walmart and the Safeway and bigger stuff is. If you keep going, maybe another half an hour, you'll be in Lake Havasu. The traffic is, I would say, medium traffic. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. And here we go up the west end of Maine. Here you have, on this end of the town, you have the fast food places, Burger King, McDonald's, Pilot, Love's. Over by Love's, there's a pretty big RV store, RV supply store. It's very well stocked. Just if you go to the Love's, you go beyond it, and you will find it. This big landmark, that yellow, looks like water tower with K&B on it. That's West Main Marketplace. A lot of places for sale, or places they sell stuff. RV mats, restaurants. There's a lady that sells her 9 loaves of homemade sourdough bread for $9 a piece. If you want that, you need to be here before 11 because they will be gone. And as it gets busier, I'll bet they'll be gone even sooner. And I have partaken in a loaf of that bread, and it is pretty amazing bread. You know I'm just trying to show how crowded it is, but I always, when I do it, I got to give a little bit of a tour. I know you're seeing lots of RV parks. There are lots of options for RV parks in Quartzsite. I heard a number and I forgot what it was, but whatever the number was, it shocked me. Even driving through here, it's a big number. But I just love being out in the desert. I can't imagine being hooked up in an RV park, you know, up against a bunch of other people when you can be out in the desert and be in a beautiful place and have plenty of room. And you just gotta bite the bullet, get some lithium, get some solar. so you can have all the creature comforts when you're boondocking. And there's Silly Al's Pizza on the right, and Dorothy and Toto's Ice Cream. I have videos on both those wonderful, wonderful places. Here we are, crossing Central again. Remember, I turned left on Main. Now we'll go straight through, and we will look at East Main Street and see how crowded that is today. So on your left here, in kind of a white building, purple and white building with a little kind of aqua trim, is called Quiet Times. You can get packages there. I think they charge about $5 a package. And I have a video on that. There's Taco Mio, video on that. There's Roadrunner Market. Guess what? I have a video on that. And to the right here is the big Main Street laundromat and the Basics Coffee and Snack Shop. I have a video on that as well. We have more video subject matter down here. It doesn't look terribly busy down on this end today, does it? We have Coyote Market, and in that you will find the backstory for Coyote and Roadrunner Market. It's not a coincidence. And here we have, on the right, you see Patty's RV Park. They have propane there, very efficient. And we have to the right here, the little barbecue place is Brandy 9 Barbecue. I've got videos on both those places. And we have my favorite solar place, Discount Solar. And we're going in there today because I upgraded my Victron solar controller, went from a 30 to a 50, and they're gonna buy my 30, and I just need to drop it off so they can test it and let me know how much they're gonna give me for it. And I will be back. I'll be back, Jack. So we will not be going to Discount Solar, as I realized my old controller is in my compartment of my trailer, and I did not put it in my truck. So you cannot trade in air. You have to have the actual thing you want to trade in. Well, actually, it's not a trade-in anymore because I bought the 50 from them, and they're just going to buy the 30 from me. You can probably get a little bit more if I sold it on eBay or Amazon Marketplace, but I like these guys. I think they should make a few bucks. I'll be ecstatic if they give me $100 for it, because I saw one like mine without Bluetooth. They were selling for $160. Mine has Bluetooth. I imagine they'd sell it for $180. So if they gave me $100, they make $80. They'd be happy. I'd be happy. We'll see. I'll let you know. So there's a little bit better view of Quiet Times. And if you use them for packages this season, it is your last chance because they are retiring. And they threaten that every year, but this year it's a for sure. They are retiring. They're closing it down. They're walking away. I don't know. No one knows what will be in that space next year, whether it'll be a similar business where you can get packages or not. I use BCM packages, and there's another one I heard about that I'm going to check out later, because BCM is struggling just a little bit this year. I love the people there, but they're struggling to handle the volume, and I think I suspect they don't have enough space or enough help. It's a little sad. But anyway, what they've had to do is basically their opening hours are always like 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. So now they've had to close down every day between 11 a.m. and 2 just so they can get caught up and organized. And that's a lot of hours out of the day, and I noticed right at 2 o'clock they get really backed up, very long lines. So up here is RV Pit Stop, which I've used on and off for many years for my propane, but the big thing there is there's a dump station and water. They're very efficient getting people in and out, but there is a new place up here where you can get propane center, and I see big propane tanks. So there they are. So you gotta be, it's called RV Relief Propane and Dump. So we are going to try to figure out where to go on here. He's telling me to make a little loop, so I'm headed out that way. So I got 3 20s in the back. Well, as I'm leaving town a little past 11:30, it seems to be getting busier and busier. A little bit more traffic. A little bit more weight pulling out into the roadway from parking lots. A little bit higher requirement for patience. So one of my missions today was getting some cash. I needed a bunch of money cash money for pay for dental procedures down in Algodones. About 3 weeks ago, I went down there for x-rays and cleaning and a checkup, and made an appointment to have 2 root canals and 3 crowns done. And I also have embarrassed to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyway, got 9 cavities. Gotta get them taken care of too. So all that together was $1,400, which $1,400 in any context sounds like a lot of money in my world, but when you compare it to what this stuff costs in the United States, up in Idaho, when they looked at my 2 broken teeth, 2 root canals and 2 crowns were going to run me $6,000. So this is 3 crowns, 2 root canals, and 9 cavities, $1,490. So it's a fraction. So, you know, $1,490 is a lot of damn money. It certainly is. But when it comes to your health, there is no maximum to spend on your health. Feels good to save a heck of a lot of money spending money on my health, because you know what I'm buying when I spend money on my health? I'm buying time, and time is way more valuable than money for me in this part of my life. Time has huge value. We have arrived at La Posa South. Again, it is January 3rd. 2023. You know, over my life, there have been lots of years in the future that I've visualized, but, you know, 2023 never came up anywhere. Pretty obscure. 2023. I thought of 2020, 2025, 2030. Now, here's a little indicator. Got ourselves a little line buying permits. You don't see that very often. In fact, it's the first time I've seen it all season. So La Posa South is there are 4 LTVAs, long-term visitor areas in Quartzsite. This is one of 4, and it's the one out of the 4 that has the dump stations and the water stations. And one of the things that happens is you get long lines at those dump and water stations when it gets really busy. Up here on your right is you can dump your, they call them blue boys, but it's those plastic tanks up to 36 gallons that you can tow behind your vehicle or in the bed of your truck, your black and gray water. And there's rarely a line there for that one, but that's only for blue boys. They call it the Blue Boy dump station for 36 or 35 gallons or less. I forget what exactly it is. It seems to me it's 35 gallons. And so many of these things are the standard size has gotten to be 36. So I always feel a little guilty when I pull up with my 36 35-gallon maximum dump station. But no one's ever said anything to me. So, the dump station's down here. Sometimes there's a long line. We'll see if there's one today. I imagine there's probably going to be a few in line. I have heard stories towards the middle of January, people being in line for 3 or 4 hours to dump their tanks. Now, that said, it looks like they're putting in 8 lanes of dump stations and water stations across the street in the Tyson Wash LTVA to replace these, since they're very old, overused, and their maintenance is tough on them. Anyway, it's all pretty much rumor. You know, people have done videos on it, and that's about as much as they said. You can see where they've marked off the area across the street, so it looks like it's real. But as far as details, no one seems to have any. So I actually did a public records request to the BLM to ask for details on that. And if I ever get an answer on that, and the answer is what I'm looking for, I will do a video and let you know what the BLM officially says about what's going on. But until then, I'll just tell you, looks like it's happening, but we're real short on actual facts. The seatbelt sign going off for my dog, Dottie, laying in the passenger seat. She only weighs about 25 pounds. But I guess that was enough. Dottie, you tripped the sensor. I like this guy on the left here with all the big, huge rocks staking out his camp. He's there. He's been there every year, or well, every year. Hello. How about 2 years? That's as long as I've been coming. He was here last year, he's here this year. It's quite the little compound, and I can never figure out how he's moved. Well, one, where did he find all those big rocks? And two, how did he move them? Because I look at him, I don't think there's a single one that I would be capable of moving by myself. Well, you just slide over a little. That's not going to do any good, is it? Well, and I don't have one of those buttons that shuts off the airbag on the passenger side, so it's just going to be an annoyance in this video. I apologize, but I'm not a professional. Right on cue. Bong, 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 bong. There's the dumpsters, and here's the line for the dump station. Now, most of them aren't rigs. They're well, that looks a little big for the Blue Boy station, but there are people that have the same thing that I do, and they come down here to dump instead of the Blue Boy station, because this has one big advantage. Decent water pressure to rinse stuff out. They have a little bit of water at the Blue Boy dump station, but it's very low pressure. And over here you see people filling up with water on the right. You see a couple of Class A's, a fifth wheel, and a beautiful Airstream. I'd love to have an Airstream someday, but it's out of my price range. I was remarking to somebody the other day, and I was kind of proud of this. I bought my truck that I'm driving now, the 2018 F-150 3.5 EcoBoost, in 2018 for $32,000. And then in 2021, I bought my trailer, a 2021 Winnebago Micro Mini 2100 BH for $27,000. So, you know, so for $59,000, I have my home and my transportation. So when you look at other types of RVs and what you can pay for them, I got a pretty damn good deal at $59,000. Just a new camper van can be well over $100,000, if not $200,000. If you buy a Class A, even a used one that's maybe 6, 7, 8 years old in good shape, you're going to be paying, $60,000, $70,000, up to $100,000 for a used one. And that's just the way the market is. And so I bought new, separated by a couple of years, 2018 for the truck, 2021 for the trailer, but brand new, $59,000, and I am very happy with that. I really like pulling a trailer because I can leave it in one spot and I can unhitch my truck, and I've got instant, convenient transportation. And so don't you worry about when you're boondocking leaving your trailer. Yes, I do. Except for the situation I have here. I camp with a group of people, and for example, a bunch of us are taking my truck to Mexico tomorrow for my dental work, and at least one guy is staying behind and be at camp all day, so I do not worry about someone taking my trailer. I do have, I do nonetheless take preventative measures, like I have a wheel lock that I stick on there that it's probably by a pro very easily defeated, but a casual thief is going to be deterred by that. Sometimes the best we can do is to take measures that deter casual thieves. I do have an e-bike that I don't have a super expensive lock that I use on it. I have a lock that would deter someone that doesn't have bolt cutters, that isn't a pro. Real pros that go after e-bikes professionally, they have stuff that they can cut through just about any lock very, very quickly, even expensive ones. They generally go after the more expensive e-bikes. I've got an electric XP, not electric, it's electric, starting with an L, XP, which I bought in 2019 for just about, I think it was about $900, maybe a little less. I think I got it on a promo. And it's on the low end. I mean, you can spend $5,000 or $6,000 easily on a high-end e-bike. Those are ones that they go after. But they do steal ones like mine, so I have a moderate lock. A pro can cut right through it. But the pro is going to get a little bit of surprise because I have a tracker hidden very carefully on my e-bike, and I can lead the police to where the thief has my e-bike pretty quickly after it's gone. And I probably would get the satisfaction of getting my e-bike back and getting someone arrested for stealing it, or at the very least possessing stolen property. And if you're looking at the number of rigs out here, it is, if you haven't seen prior videos, trust me, there are a lot more rigs out here. You may say, well, Rob, you're boondocking. You say you don't have to be right next to each other like in RV parks, but I'm seeing rigs right up against each other. Well, let me tell you, that's intentional. Those are people that know each other, that are parking and wanting to be right next to each other. You'll see when we pull up to mine that you're going to see a very similar thing. We have 4 rigs in our group. Well, actually 5. One's way off in the distance. But 4 of us are right next to each other. Or actually, there's 4 of us. Because we want to be real close to each other. We're a little community. We're a camp. But, like, look at this guy out here. He's not in the middle of nowhere, but he's got his little, he's got his pickup truck and his bumper pull, and he's pretty good distance from any neighbor. He's got some privacy. But you know, if he wanted more privacy, well, take a look. There's lots of space out here. He could be out even further and be even more alone. So that's the thing about boondocking. You have flexibility. You can be as close to people or as far away as you want to be. My good friend Deborah Dickinson, she goes through some self-care where she needs to be alone in nature. And she goes off into the desert, and I'm usually surprised if I go visit her and I can see off in the distance, distance hundreds of yards away, even one neighbor. We're going to have an interview with her soon, and we'll kind of see what we're talking about. And she's going to talk to folks about how nature helps her with her self-care, with the idea that maybe other people will be able to benefit from her experience. Deborah Dickinson is she has like a real YouTube channel with thousands of followers, unlike my burgeoning, beginning, evolving little tiny YouTube channel with like 700. I think we're at 760 something subscribers. Pretty small. But I met someone today that she and her husband have started her channel, and she asked me to subscribe, and I did, and I was the 6th subscriber. So they're just starting. It made me feel like, hey, I've accomplished something. I've gotten from 0 to, well, I had 70 subscribers when I started, when I retired a year ago. And that was from having a YouTube channel for years and years and years, where I wasn't trying to get subscribers. It was a repository for the videos I was doing. The little video business that I had. And you probably say, Rob, you had a video business, and your videos now are so not edited and so not classy and professional. Yes, I don't take this seriously enough to be willing to put editing time in. So this is casual for me. So my videos are far from perfect. I do as well as I can with a minimal amount of editing. Editing that I can do on the phone quickly. And we have arrived at home, our little camp. Hi, I'm Dottie, and I need more subscribers. They're not out there, Dottie.